Yes.
Okay, great. So this is basically, I'm just going to make this a similar setup, right? We got a few different balls here doing their thing. All right, so I've got multiple levels of stuff, and as you said, you know, when we scrub it all together, it all shows up. But if I click on the single layer, I no longer have anything to reference, right? It disappears. So here's what you do. You, first of all, if you want to see the background, you turn on this background icon. So that helps you with that way. If you turn on the light box, okay, now the light box does a few different things. It shows you the up to the last 5 drawings if you're using that mode. So it doesn't matter what layer you're on. You can get like the last 5 of whatever you're working on. But as you said, if you want to reference different layers within your animation, this is what you do. You go to the Options tab, or box, and you go to Light Box Options here. Okay. Now, this is what you want to use, additional reference levels. Okay. If you turn on A, meaning like 1 additional reference level, if you turn on A1, that means that layer 1 is going to show up while you're working on another layer. Okay, so for example, if I now go to layer 2, see how you can see layer 1 in there?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's say we have even more layers, because you were talking about dealing with 3 bouncing balls. So I'm going to add a 3rd layer in here. Now again, I can see layer 1 just fine, right? That's the A1 that we already activated. Okay, now we go back into the Lightbox options. This time in B, let's turn on 2, B2. Okay, we say OK. Now I see both my drawings on layer 2 and my drawings on layer 1.
Got it.
Got it? So you can keep doing that however many layers you have. I mean, you can do up to 6, I think. Or 4. You can do up to 4. And if you use the in-betweening method as well, I think it still works. Yeah, you can still see the other ones. Okay? That was easy.
Okay, cool. Thank
No
you.
problem. Okay, Annotate Pro, to draw guys on the screen so you can survive without seeing what's happening in another layer. Well, now you don't need that, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay, cool. However, the question you asked about Annotate Pro, that the pointer seems to drag the pieces of Annotate Pro, I honestly don't know any workaround around that. I noticed that myself the other day in my own work, where you click on it and it drags the drawings of Annotate Pro. So I haven't had time to actually go in and explore that at all. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have... All right, let's start from the top. I watched a couple of reference videos for different types of bouncing balls, and I've observed that during the squash, only the lower part of the ball, which is touching the ground, is deforming. You can see it on the videos attached to the assignment 2 files. Is it because the balls are a bit deflated? Should we try to imitate it somehow, or just ignore it, as the baller rig does not provide us with such functionality? Is it because they're partially deflated? Maybe a little bit. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain without seeing the video. But do you want to ignore it? Yes. Because in our particular case, like you said, we don't have that functionality in the rig, so it's really not worth trying to add it in. Okay? And you could do it. You could put a lattice on it. You could make it work if you wanted to. But honestly, that's a whole lot of work that really would take you away from the assignment at hand. Okay? Did that answer that question for whoever? Can't remember who wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. You probably said it before, but to be sure, does the 25% of distance in 50% of time apply to all balls and objects, not differing between the material they are built from? What is the difference in hang time for a beach ball and a bowling ball? Is it just timing? Excellent question. And the answer to the beginning one is yes. the 25% rule of distance and 50% of the time happens for all balls, all objects, all materials. The only difference would be if we had air resistance. Okay, so let me just open up